Yo guys, Features Gaming here and welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we are back for another episode of our My Team Career Mode, episode 3 for the Monaco Grand Prix today in Season 1. So to start off the video in the HQ, I went to look for any available team upgrades but there weren't any, so then I went to the R&D tree and seeing if I could get any recommended upgrades, and there were two that I could actually get, and Features Gaming actually remembered that team upgrades were a thing, so he added a few of those before the race weekend. But Features Gaming was stupid and didn't enable any audio for the whole first part of the video, so it was silent, and we actually had an issue with the aerodynamics department. So the team told us that they wanted to experiment giving the team less working hours to improve their morale and, of course, consequences depending on which answer we chose. I decided to agree with them, however that put us on negative resource points, and, of course, we then get a failed R&D component, which I couldn't rebuy. So I continued simulating through the week to get through the days, and then I actually went to see what upgrades we actually got in the R&D tree. I also went through and got some driver perks as well, which I haven't got, and I managed to get one of each section, and then we had an interview with Will Buxton. So once again, Features Gaming forgot to enable the audio, but the first question Will asked us was, is there any room for more facility upgrades, as he thought the upgrades had stalled? I selected the answer on the right as I did feel the staff were a super important factor in our team, and I didn't want to answer with a question that brought them down. The next question he asked me was, have we been focusing on our teammates' development as they have been getting comfortable in the car? I answered with the question on the bottom to say that they had been putting the hours on in the sim. The next question he asked was, are team orders in place at my team? I went with a straight up answer at the bottom with no, as I wanted to race with my teammate and have great battles. The next question he asked was, do we think that we can challenge the top tier teams in the near future, as we had been picking up points fairly consistently, which I don't really see how. I went with the answer on the right as I knew that our team was not going to be in that position anytime soon, and I didn't want to get the team's hopes up for something that we weren't going to be able to accomplish. And the final question he asked us was, what is my prediction for the team this season? And I went with the answer on the right as I did think our team was okay with a pretty decent car, and hopefully going to grab a few points here and there, but nothing better than that. So with that done, I actually went and got a secondary sponsor for the team to earn a bit more cash. So I looked through all of the available options carefully, thinking what goal I could achieve as a team. I eventually made my decision to go for Salve, as the goal they wanted me to do was to beat my rival, which I thought was good. So now let's go on to qualifying and let's see what will happen. On to qualifying, and I'm going to be honest, I wasn't really looking forward to this race. As you know, Monaco is super tricky and it wasn't particularly good around this track with this year's game. I did tweak a bit with the setup, going with 10-11 wings, seeing if that was going to change. But yeah, I actually tried Yano Opmir's setup in time trial and it actually worked pretty well, so I decided to go with that. So coming into the first corner, and as you can see, I'm actually in T-cam as well, because I thought with Monaco you really need to nail the corners. So coming up into Saint-Devote, just making sure I absolutely nail that turning with the tires, because you know you can see the tires a bit better in T-cam, which is why I kind of went for it. So yeah, I went with that, and I also switched on ABS and put onto medium traction control as well, just as I thought that was a pretty good, you know, as a racing as well. So coming through to the casino, not casino, the hairpin, sorry, and then into this section, Portier, just going through there, going through the tunnels, just making sure I absolutely nail the traction coming out those few corners, trying to get the max the max traction I can, and then coming into the Nouvelle chicane, making sure I try and keep it as close to the corners as I can, getting a little bit wide there on the exit, but the written line actually tells you to get a bit closer. Through to back there, all good, no touching the corners or whatever. Going through the swimming pool part, and then going into La Rascasse for the final time on that lap, and then coming through that section, pedal to the metal, going down the home straight, and that puts me into P2 actually. So a pretty good lap there, I would say, for my first lap, and that was actually enough to get me through. So I didn't do another lap, and then finish in P13, and my teammate Jack Aitken is unfortunately down in P20, so he's got a lot to do starting further back from the back of the grid. But let's go to my first lap in Q2. So again, trying to warm the tires up just before I go, and then going through La Rascasse, just making sure to try and, you know, warm the tires as much as I can, and then coming through this final few corners, absolutely bombing it out of there, and then coming through this, and then coming into turn 1 Saint-Devote, making sure I try and nail it as well, get it done pretty good as well. And then just coming through Beau Rivage, and then eventually into Massenet, just trying to keep it as close as I can to the wall there, and then coming through Casino, then to Mirabeau, making sure I try and nail it, and I go a bit deep there, which probably cost me a few tenths, and then into the hairpin, nearly just getting it round, and then into Portier now, making sure I try and nail it as much as I can, which I kind of do. I could have probably got onto the power a bit earlier there, and then coming through the tunnel, and then into the Nouvelle chicane, breaking just after the 100-meter board. Again, keeping it quite close to the apexes and corners, even getting closer to the exit there than I did in my Q1 lap. Again, going through to back, and I just tapped the barrier, which probably cost me a bit of, a bit of time as well, coming through there as well, into La Rascasse. Just trying to, keep this car near the apexes and try and complete this lap. Open DRS, down the back straight, and that is enough to get me into P3. So I was kind of thinking, yeah, I would probably need to go again in this qualifying lap, and that is exactly what I did. Actually into P11 now, so I knew that I had to really improve if I wanted to get out of Q2. So again, warming the tires, making sure I can get the most out if I can, coming through the final corner, absolutely nailing the throttle there, and then coming down the back straight into Saint-Devote, trying to keep it clean. You can cut the corner a little bit into Saint-Devote, it doesn't really cost you too much time, and you actually get a bit of time, and you don't actually get any corner cut either, which is good. Again, if you're in T-Cam, you can easily spot that. Into Casino now, just making sure I try and keep it as much, as close as I can to the corners. The apex is trying to not lose too much time into the chicane. All good. Again, into that turn, and then into Portier, and then coming through at the tunnel. I've got a little bit of oversteer coming out of Portier, probably cost me a few tenths. I am actually red on my delta though, but coming into the Nouvelle chicane, braking, turning in, just getting very close to the exit there, and I spin the car, and that is unfortunately the end of my lap, because, well, I can't really improve, can I? So doing a 5-point turn here, just trying to get out of there. And yeah, I know the team just telling me that this is my final lap. Well, I've already messed it up really. So Lando Norris there getting a little bit, no, is that Daniel Ricciardo? I'm not actually too sure, but yeah, I'm getting a very bit, I don't really know. I don't even think it was on a hot lap. I'm not really sure. He pitted anyway, and I was going to pit anyway because obviously I couldn't do anything with the lap I just did. So obviously he goes into the pits, and obviously I'm going to go into the pits as well. So going into the pit box right now, and this is where I spotted something weird. So as you can see, I go into the pit box, and then look to my right. Cars are just coming through the pit lane, and they're not even pitting. They're just driving through the pit lane. And I don't even know why they're even doing that. Qualifying's finished, but they just drive through the pit lane, which I found very weird. But anyway, that was me out into starting P12, and there are actually a few cars with time penalties, so I might not actually be starting 12, but this is what happened with the incidents. Apparently a few grid penalties there for Lance Stroll, Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez. A few warnings there for Stroll and Vettel, and actually invalidated lap times from Leclerc, Hamilton and Verstappen as well, so showing that they're pushing the limits. But now let's get into the race. So welcome along everyone to the Monaco Grand Prix, the trickiest circuit on the F1 calendar for some. And, with qualifying being super essential with this Grand Prix, it is going to be a tight one and possibly a very fun one. The two Mercedes on the front row and me down in 12th place, actually in P11, thanks to the grid penalties. The Monaco Grand Prix then, the 2-mile circuit, a very quick circuit, but with the walls around this track, it's not going to be easy, and the possibility of a safety car is quite high around the Monaco Grand Prix. So into the race starts here, going to 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go, and a pretty decent start from everyone in the grid. not really too much to commentate over that. And then coming into Sandoval, Fernando Alonso in the Alpine, really nearly getting past me around the outside. And I was just trying to keep with Sergio Perez, and I did exactly what, what was said on my Halo, no heroics into Sandoval. And then coming through there, Fernando Alonso again trying to get past me, but I just keep it nailed. And into Mirabeau, me just trying to tuck in behind Sergio Perez in the Red Bull. But now I spot my opportunity and going down the inside of Sergio Perez, and he actually gives me the space, and that is up. And that is us up into P10. It's a points paying position. And if I could, handle on to this for, the rest of the race, then we've got points. And then on to lap 2, me trying to chase down Pierre Gasly ahead of Sergio Perez. So 3 Honda powered cars in P12, in P11 to 9, getting a little bit, wide there in Mirabeau, and I couldn't do anything into the lowest hairpin. So yeah, tried something on lap 2 into the hairpin, but didn't really work out. And then on to lap 3, the exact same corner into Mirabeau, can't really do anything there. And then try and have a look down into the hairpin, couldn't do anything though. So I live to fight another day, which was getting a real bit annoying, but I knew that, Monaco is difficult. It is hard to overtake. On to the end of lap 3 now, DRS here. I tried to catch up to Gasly. Can I get past him into Sandoval? No, I don't. I took it behind him. I mean, I don't even know why I even thought about that, to be honest. But, yeah, we live to fight another day. Going through Beau Rivage and into Massenet. Seeing if I can try and, just get closer to him into Casino. Can't really do anything there. And now if we go into Mirabeau, maybe I can just absolutely nail the traction. But I go wide again. And I think that's going to kill my momentum to try and, anything into the hairpin. So, still behind Pierre Gasly on lap 4. So, as we go through the race onto the end of lap 4, I'll have DRS going onto the back straight. So, through Larascas, just trying to get as close to him as I can. And I'm going through there, enabling overtake, DRS open, nailing the throttle. Can I do anything into Sandoval? He moves over to the right. I go down the outside of Sandoval, and I tell you what an overtake that was from me, going into P9 into Sandoval. Man, that was an overtake. So yeah, on to lap 6 now, trying to chase down Sebastian Vettel, and the team actually tell me here that they're handling ignition. I was just like thinking, oh no, please not. Because I was actually enjoying this race for once. But I just tried to, think that out of my mind and trying to, chase down Sebastian Vettel if I can. And going through Portier now, just trying to nail the traction. I get a little bit, squirrely on the exit though. So coming down the tunnel, can I do anything? No, he's just too far, ahead. And oh no! It is an engine failure! No! And honestly, I was a little bit annoyed from this because I was loving this race all too much. And honestly, to just have it taken away from an engine failure that's completely out of my control was just honestly so annoying. But it is what it is, and it is an engine failure. So I guess it survived me from another probably hour of hell. So this is the race rundown. Obviously, Lewis Hamilton getting the win, followed by Valtteri Bottas, and then Max Verstappen in the Red Bull, and then Lando Norris, finishing P4, and then Charles Leclerc actually finishing his home Grand Prix this time. Daniel Ricciardo is followed by Sergio Perez and Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari. Sebastian Vettel next in P9, and then Pierre Gasly, and then Yuki Tsunoda in P11. Fernando Alonso in P12, sorry, and then Esteban Ocon into P13. Mick Schumacher in P14, and then Kimi Raikkonen in P15, and then my teammate Jack Aitken in P16. So it's good to see that he is getting some good results. Antonio Giovinazzi in P17, then George Russell in P18, Nikita Mazepin and Nicholas Latifi round out the top 20, and then Lance Stroll, who actually DNF'd again after me, and then me in last place of the race. So that was the race, guys, and that is the end of this episode. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Make sure you leave a like on this episode if you did enjoy it, subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next video or stream. But until then, take care and peace out.